Good afternoon. Welcome to the overnight. It's been a while since I've done a video. It's been, I don't know, probably about a month or so. I don't even remember. Um, Started the baseball season. Um, Yankees starting a week out in San Francisco. Um, what else? There's something that really irritated the fucking shit out of me today. And that was So last night was the championship game of the WBC. I mean, where the U.S. lost in the ninth inning and whatnot. So, and all I saw, I watched the replay last night, overnight, and what, and then all I saw on social media is they're all over fucking Aaron Judge on how he's a fucking choker and shit. The big game. He struck out 3 times and whatnot. I'm thinking, I'm like, and I'm looking at it. It's like, so I'm trying to figure out how, yeah, it's championship game and he had a bad game, and so if you look at his 3 strikeouts, can you tell me what pressure situations he was on under? Was he? Did he have men on base? How many runners did he leave out on base last night? Hmm? Did he leave like one? He left one runner out on the entire fucking game. Went 0 for 4, 3 strikeouts, and a ground out. And that ground out, he had a runner on. So, and I got into a small argument with my friend about it because he just thought that Judge is the captain, is the MVP, and his job is to get on base. So is every other fucking batter. So if Judge got on base either one or two of those times, then what? Kyle Schwarber struck out 3 times. How come no one's How come no one's complaining about that? How come nobody's complaining about Tara Scrubble, who could have started that game? Can somebody explain that to me? Because I figured that, you want your best fucking pitcher and not someone who has a handful of starts in Nolan McLean. And didn't the USA lose when Nolan McLean started 2 games and the USA lost both of them? And I heard on WFAN overnight with Tommy Lugauer, and he's saying how Nolan McLean did his job. So giving up the first run, he had 2 walks and a wild pitch. That's doing your job. Anything to just to create an argument. So it's a team game. I blame the entire team. And on top of that, why aren't we throwing any blame to Mark DeRosa for not starting Cal Raleigh? Didn't the guy hit 60 home runs last year? And you don't start him in the semifinal game or the final game? I thought Aaron Boone was bad. So, I sort of like Judge with the lights, with the brights really being bright and shit like that. You know, you yes, he's the one of the best players in the game, and he's gonna have that scrutiny but you have the rest of your team has to pick it up. Take away Bryce Harper's 2 hits. How many hits did the Team USA had last night? Didn't they have 1? They had 1 hit last night. But that's Aaron Judge's fault, right? That's Aaron Judge's 3 strikeouts. That's his fault, right? It's about the entire team. Because they look like complete garbage until Harper hit that 2-run homer to tie the game. And then they gave it right back. So, this isn't on Aaron Judge. It just fucking isn't. I don't want to hear from anybody. So, the season starts in a week. I think Aaron Judge will be ready. And we'll see how far this team goes this year with the fucking run-it-back Yankees with the almost the same exact team. And I saw today that, I watched Garrett Cole for his first inning. I think Boston was fucking bush league by bunting on his very first pitch. Which, it's like, come on, man. Really? And he looked all right, for his 10 pitches. Gave up 1 other hit after that. But, he didn't allow a run. And that's encouraging. He was hitting about 97 on the radar. And it's just I think he just needs to be built up a little bit more. And they'll probably be ready by, end of May, I think. Along with Rodon. And I saw today that Aaron Boone is going to carry 3 catchers and JC Escarra is going to be one of them. Fucking really? Really? That means we have no right-handed hitting catcher against left-handed pitching. Because that's how teams are going to do it. They're going to fucking throw left-hander after left-hander after left-hander against this team. And we have no right-handed bats. We brought back Ahmed Rosario. Oh. Yeah. Who else? You got switch hitting Miguel Oswaldo Cabrera. You got Dominguez. You have to bat from the, who didn't bat well from the left side last year. From the right side last year. So, yeah. And then we have no right-handed hitting catcher. So, it's just going to be the same fucking shit. It's going to be the same thing that this team will always do. Start off real good, and then when June rolls around, the nosedive. And I think that the Yankees are going to win about 92 games this year. Between 92 to 94. And possibly finish second in the East behind Toronto. Because, the rest of the teams in the East got better. They improved their team. Not the Yankees. All they did was fucking run it back. And thinking that's going to be, bringing back Bellinger, and you brought back Goldschmidt, and you brought my Rosario, and thinking you made those trades during the trade deadline. We're good for the offseason. No. You lost Devin Williams. Didn't really fucking matter. Even Luke Weaver, but, we got Bednar, and you got Duvall, and then, it all depends where you're going to put LeGrahe. Are you going to put him in the bullpen, or are you going to put him as a starter? And the biggest question mark out of all these pitchers is Luis Gil. Where are you putting him? Because he has command issues, and he can't fucking shake it. So that's the biggest question mark is Luis Gil. But we have enough depth to overcome some setback injuries and shit like that. So that's about it for the Yankees and Aaron Judge. That's fucking irritated my mind today, and just fucking just watching. So, I'm talking about the Giants. They've had a good offseason. Harbaugh's building his team into what he feels it should be. bringing in former Ravens, bringing in, you know, we signed the punter from Baltimore, made him the highest paid punter in the league, and then we signed Isaiah Likely, which I thought was a complete fucking overpay, in my opinion, and him and Theo should be a good 1-2 combination. We'll see if he's worth that contract. Patrick Ricard, I really like that sign. Yes, we made him the highest paid fullback in the league, but I really like that sign because I think with him and Cam Scatterbull would be a really good duo, and I think Scatterbull is gonna have a monster year coming off the injury, and so will Tyrone Tracy. I think we're gonna have a really solid backfield. And yeah, we picked up Darnell Mooney, which is a little bit of a shock. I mean, yeah, he's coming off an injury. We played league this season and whatnot, but I think he could be your number 2. And then that a low risk sign for the money, Calvin Austin. He can be your slot, and that means Jalen Hyatt is gone. But what are we gonna do with Darius Slayton? I mean, you're paying him fucking $12 million. I think he needs to be released, in my opinion. I mean, no disrespect to Darius Slayton, but his last 2 years were left to be desired, especially for the contract you got last year. 1 touchdown and too many drops. I like what they did on defense. They got Newsome as your cornerback too. The pickup, the guy that we got from Chicago. I forget his name. Tremaine, no, something like that. So I can't. I think he's gonna be really good because we needed to stop the run, and we brought back McFadden for a prove-it deal, and that means we're probably gonna go linebacker for the 5th pick, either Sonny Styles and we'll see if Harvard Reese falls down to 5. And I heard Delane, cornerback from Maryland, is a possibility. But I think the Giants ain't done with the signings. They'll probably address their interior offensive line, which they need to. Because bringing back Illuminor was huge. Because between him and Andrew Thomas, they were the best combo in pressure rate in the league. And it wasn't even close. So bringing back Illuminor was super huge. And for the next 3 years, him and Andrew Thomas are going to be stalwarts on the ends. Now we just build. Once the interior gets built, and now you have Jackson Dart, and then Malik Neighbors comes back from injury and he's 100%. And I think this offense will start getting it going. And I think we'll have a better red zone offense with Matt. We'll see, but we'll see how they do it. But I don't think they're done with the signings. I think they're going to pick up. They're going to get what they need and then do the draft and whatnot. So that's about it for the Giants. Tonight's the net game. It's another loss. They'll be down 30 early, like they always have been. I think, they just need to shut down Michael Porter Jr. What's the fucking point? Just lose as many as you can till you get that top 3 pick. But then you have to worry on the lottery balls. And then this will be a big off season for the Nets. They have the salary, they have the cap space. They can. Do we entrust Sean Marks to make that fucking draft, to make that draft pick, because this team needs a center that is physical. It's that simple. I mean, unless Danny Wolf gains 30 pounds of muscle in the offseason, because we don't have, when we face teams that are physical, this team gets, Noah Clowney and Nick Claxton get bullied like fucking no tomorrow when they face teams like the Bricks with Cat and Mitchell Robinson, and then they face Embiid, and they face Jared Allen, and they face, Giannis and Bam, and, watching the game Tuesday against Portland, and Klingon was just fucking embarrassing them. So Sean Marks needs to address this, because until that, until that gets addressed, this team will still fucking struggle. But this team needs to have an identity. How I saw the rookies this year, there were too much inconsistency from the rookies. Too fucking much. Yegor Doman was fine until Jordy Fernandez decided to make him the shooting guard and put Traore as the point guard. And you saw before the All-Star break and after everything that he got, you saw him regress. Traore he could be your point guard, but he's got to bulk up a little bit, and he's got the quickness, but this team is one of the slowest tempo teams in the league, so it doesn't really fucking jive sometimes. And Drake Powell is too inconsistent. Saraf has been better as of late. I said it before the season. I like the Danny Wolf pick. And Danny Wolf is, even when he doesn't score, he's still active and whatnot. He had a little bit of a, hit the rookie wall during the middle of the season, but then he's starting to come back around, and I like the Wolf pick. He just has to get some, once he gets some more experience and builds, bulks up a bit, and I think he's going to be a solid player. And this is going to be a big offseason. I'm just hoping that the Nets can get a power forward that can fucking rebound, and because no disrespect to Noah Clowney, I just think he needs to be traded. There was a point he was one of the bottom 10 3-point shooters in the league. He bulked up about 25 pounds of muscle, but he still gets bullied in the blocks. But he's not, to me, it's just, I just don't, he's more of a bench piece than a starter. And hopefully maybe we'll trade him, and maybe Claxton, if they get Giannis, say if they do get Giannis, they go out and they make this trade for Giannis, because they have the draft capital to get Giannis. That, you can do this without giving up Michael Porter Jr. And you could put Claxton in that deal, Clowney in that deal. You can give him picks. You can even give him one of the fucking point guards. You can give him fucking Drake Powell for all I fucking care. But you're going to need, someone that's going to fucking be physical on the boards. And this team doesn't have one. They had one, Day'Ron Sharpe, but he's out for the rest of the year. But he had a solid year this year, in my opinion. So that's about it for today. Yankees start next week. I'll probably start doing more of these during the season about the Yankees. I'll definitely do one for the draft and before the draft, who I think the Giants should be picking as we get closer. But I'm just gonna sit back before the game. I'm gonna watch the fucking strike fest in Indiana. Fucking unbelievable. That I think they're on pace to break the most 300s in a tournament by the field. I mean, they had 9 in round 1. And we'll see after I get off this. We'll see if there's any more 300s. But they still have this round, 2 more rounds, and 2 more rounds after that. So it's attainable. The way the pattern looks and the way they're striking. Not too. I mean, so it could be records broken, but we'll see what happens. But Yankees starting the week. I can't wait. It's gonna be a fun season.